Next, ada dua type of arguments which are deductive argument and inductive argument. Okay. Deductive argument is a process of making a specific conclusion based on general premises. So kalau dia ada specific conclusion dengan general premises, dia adalah deductive. Kalau dia ada general conclusion dan juga specific premises, dia adalah inductive. And then kita belajar juga macam mana nak tentukan statement tu specific or general. Kalau statement tu general, maksud dia kupas pasal the whole concept, but if it is specific, it only talks about particular case. Okay, and this is activity 1. You can refer this in your textbook, and anyway, I will give you all the recording after this, insyaAllah. So maybe kalau sampai habis, kita habiskan sampai 1:10 je. Okay, and then next, we also make the example 16. And this is yang kita tak buat lagi, D. Kalau contoh kan, kita tengok yang C ni, dia cakap memula premise dia ada the sum of exterior angles of a triangle is 360. Kalau yang ni, the sum of exterior angle of a quadrilateral. Kalau yang ni, sum of exterior angle of a pentagon. So, this is the premise. Premise, it talks about quadrilateral, triangle, and also pentagon. But for the conclusion, it only talk about polygon. So we know that polygon is general. Bawah polygon ada triangle, ada quadrilateral, dan juga pentagon. So this is this argument is the conclusion is general. The premise is specific. So from general to specific, we have inductive. Okay. Let us proceed to D. The sum of the digits in 18 is divisible by 9. The sum of digits in 27 is divisible by 9. The sums of digits in 36 is divisible by 9. Thus, the sum of the digits in multiples of 9 is divisible by 9. Okay, anyone wants to try? What is the premise?
The sum of the digit in 18 is divisible by 9.
Yes, very good. That is the premise. That is one of the premises because as we know, yang teacher dah baca dia punya definition tadi, argument can consist of more than one premise, several premises. Maksudnya beberapa. Tapi sekarang ni kita boleh je tulis satu je premise. Okay, premise 1 is the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. So what is the conclusion?
Thus, the sum of the digits in multiples of 9 is divisible by 9.
Yes, very good. Thus, the sum of the digits in multiples of 9 is divisible by 9. Okay, oh, sorry. Typo. The sum of the digits in multiples of 9 is divisible by 9. So the conclusion is general or specific? General or specific?
General.
General, right? Because we don't know what is the number. What number is divisible? What number in multiples of 9 is divisible by 9? We don't know what number. But premise 1, you already stated the number, which is 18, 27, 36. So the conclusion is general. The premise is specific. It means from general to specific, we have inductive or deductive?
Inductive.
Yes, very good. Inductive. Okay, now for 3.2.2, determine and justify the validity of a deductive argument and hence determine whether the valid argument is sound. So in this subtopic, firstly we will learn how to determine the validity of the deductive argument. Kita kena tentukan sama ada argument tu valid or not. And second, kita kena tentukan sama ada argument yang valid tu adakah dia sound. Okay, so we have two things, valid and Nurin, valid and sound. Sekarang kita nak belajar sama ada argument tu valid dan juga sama ada argument tu adalah sound. So we have two things, valid and sound. Okay, firstly, let us look at these premises. We have three forms, which are form 1, form 2, form 3. Kita ada 3 jenis. Jenis yang pertama, jenis yang kedua, jenis yang ketiga. Untuk jenis yang pertama, dia ada all A are B. Okay, all A are B. Untuk premis kedua, C is A, conclusion C is B. Nanti kita akan tengok contoh. Form 2, if P, then Q. And then premise 2, P is true, conclusion Q is true. Form 3, if P, then Q. Premise 2, not Q is 3, and not Q is true, conclusion not P is true. So, firstly, we will learn how to determine the validity of a deductive argument. Macam mana kita nak tentukan adakah deductive argument tu valid? Cara nak tentukan dia, kita mestilah we must make sure that the argument must be either in form 1, form 2 or form 3. Maknanya argument tu mestilah berada dalam sama ada bentuk 1, bentuk 2 ataupun bentuk 3. Okay, faham? Do you understand this part?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Kita kena tentukan sama ada betul ke argument tu berada dalam bentuk 1, bentuk 2 atau bentuk 3. If the argument is not in this form, it's not in form 1, it's not in form 2, it's not in form 3, then the argument is invalid. Okay? Now for okay, very good. Now how to determine whether a deductive argument is sound? That deductive argument is said to be valid, is said to be sound if all the premises and the conclusions are true. Okay, argument tu akan jadi sound if all the premises and the conclusions are true. Maksudnya kalau semua premises dan conclusion dia true, that argument is sound. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now let me give you some general situation. What we have argument 1. Argument 1 is it follows form 1, but the premise it follows form 1, this form, jenis yang pertama, but the conclusion is false. Is it valid?
No.
Valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Valid. Is it sound?
No.
No, very good. So an argument can be valid and sound, valid but not sound, invalid and not sound. Okay, so let us look at this example. For previous one, we have all actresses are good at dancing. Okay, all A are B. So actresses is A. Okay. Actresses is A. Good at dancing is B. So Jasmine is C. Actress tadi apa? A ke B?
A.
A, right? Jasmine?
C.
C. Good at dancing?
B.
B. Very good. Okay, so is this statement valid?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because it follow the type 1, right? Form 1, which is all A is B, C is A, C is B. Okay, so this statement is valid, but is it sound? Let us look at premise 1. Are all actresses good at dancing? Betul ke semua pelakon mesti pandai menari? Is it true?
False.
No.
False, right? Because not necessarily all people who act know how to dance. So premise one already false. Is this statement sound?
No.
No.
No. So this argument is valid.
And not sound.
Yes, valid but not sound. Very good. Okay. For this example, all actresses are good at dancing. Okay, actresses is A, good at dancing is B, Jasmine is C, good at dancing is
B.
B, Jasmine is,
C.
C.
actress is,
A.
A.
is it valid?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All A is B, C is B, C is A. Okay, kita tengok balik jadual ni. Betul ke C is B, C is A?
Tak valid.
Tak valid kan? Sebab it is not in
Sebab-
form 1.
Yes.
Faham?
Faham.
Okay. So it is not valid, it is invalid. Yeah. It is invalid and also not sound because all actresses are not necessarily good at dancing. So invalid and not sound. So for example 17, are the following arguments valid and sound? If it is not, justify your answer. Okay, I will give you 3 minutes and then after this, maybe just 2 minutes. And then after this, I will ask for your answer. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, so already 2 minutes now. Can I have your answer? Who wants to try? Volunteer. Ciritana, what is your answer? Ciritana? Or
Valid
Siapa?
tu ke?
Apa dia?
Teacher nak answer yang valid tu ke?
Ada ke?
Valid and sound.
Valid and
Sound.
sound. Okay, very good. So valid and sound. Valid and sound. Okay, now let us look. All multiples of 16 are even numbers. So all multiples of 16 is A and even numbers is B. So 64 is C. Multiple of 16 tadi is A. 64 is C. Even number is B. So it follows the form, which is form 1. All A are B, C is A, C is B. And then we must determine whether premise 1 is true, premise 2 is true, and conclusion is true. Then this statement is sound. Okay. Next. Number 2. I will give you another 2 minutes. Tadi siapa jawab
Irish.
Irish Okay. Okay, already 2 minutes. Can we have Miza? Miza, what is the answer?
Not valid and not sound.
Not valid and not sound. Very good. Okay. For C, we will do it together. Premise 1. If K is divisible by 8, then K is divisible by 4. 12 is not divisible by 8. 12 is not divisible by 4. Okay, so we look at, I think maybe this is form 3, right? It looks like it is in form 3, dalam bentuk yang ketiga. Sebab dia ada not. If P then Q, not Q is true, not P is true. Okay, so the answer, if K is divisible by 8, then K is divisible by 4. 12 is not divisible by 8, which is this one is P. For conclusion, this one is not P. Premise 2 is not P, but conclusion is not Q. This is invalid. Do you know why it is invalid?
No.
Because for form 3, premise 2, form 3, premise 2 must be Q first, and then the conclusion will be P. But this one, the premise 2 is P, and then the conclusion is Q. Okay, invalid and, okay, say that if K is divisible by 8, then K is divisible by 4. Okay, true. And then 12 is not divisible by 8, also true. But for conclusion, 12 is not divisible by 4, which is false. So it is invalid and not sound. Okay, I think that's all for today's class. For anyone who yang masuk lambat tadi, sebab habis kelas lambat, nanti later I will upload this recording in YouTube and I will give the link to you guys, okay? And then this is the homework. If you have any problem, actually for homework, I want to give you more to make sure that you understand, but I'm afraid that it will become a burden to you because you also have other homework, right, from other subject. So, kalau nak buat semua, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pun boleh, just submit it to me and then I will check whether your answer is correct or incorrect. But if you just want to do 2, 4, and 6, it is also okay. Okay, are you all good?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. I'm really glad and grateful that you all, looks like most of you understand today's topic, but just in case you all do not understand, you can watch the recording after this and then do some exercises. Okay, and then if you want to check whether your exercises are correct or incorrect, you can ask me. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'll screenshot this and then send this to the group. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.